Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about role-playing games today. As you may or may not know if you watch my channel, I consider myself to be a role-playing gamer first before board games. Now, that being said, truth be told, I play a ton more board games than I probably play role-playing games, but I still have a D&D group that we meet every 2 weeks, and we play a D&D campaign that I'm running for the last couple years almost. And of course, that the people in my gaming group play board games with me as well. So it's kind of like the every other weekend kind of thing. But regardless, so I'm a big fan of old school feeling role playing games. I'm at my best when I can like kind of channel the old campaign worlds and ideas that I had when I was, in my early teens and meeting up every day after school in the library at Agassiz Junior High to compare maps and play for a while and just, have some fun with my buddies. I have had the same campaign world, which I've called Astandar, and it's been called other things as well. But I've had the same campaign world for many, many years. I created it, I think, when I was like 18 or 19 years old. And I've since, just any adventure that I run is based in that world. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger if I need more areas and what have you. Now, I mention that because Frog God games, and before that Necromancer games, in my opinion, were and are the best publisher right now of role-playing game adventures, source books, splat books as they're called, and because of the fact that they remember what it was like to play those first edition type feeling, games, if you will. And Bill Webb, the person that is in charge of that company, the kind of CEO or Grand High Poobah or whatever you want to call him, he has the same thing. He created a world when he was young in his teens, and he has slowly but surely expanded that, and all of his campaigns took place in that game world. And he called it the Lost Lands. And like all of the really awesome adventures that they've come out with, I mean, every single one is based somewhere in the Lost Lands. The Sword of Air, the Slumbering Czar, Rapana Thuk, which is like one of my favorite adventures books. I've done a review of that. They are all in that world, and the fans of what Bill has created have asked repeatedly, when are we going to see like a campaign source book, like the world? When are you going to give us the world? We want to see what's there. And it's been something that they've been working on for quite a while. And they just recently had a Kickstarter that they've just fulfilled for the Sundered Kingdoms part of the Lost Lands. And that had a little bit of information as far as the campaign world. And now they have a Kickstarter going on right now for the Borderlands provinces, which is the first true campaign source book for the Lost Lands. And I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to just spend an afternoon sitting back and just sitting there and reading it and enjoying myself. And one of the cool things about Frog God Games is that they are a company that thinks of their fans and thinks of the players and DMs out there that use their products first. And obviously, yes, it's a company, they're in it to make some money, but they are very generous and very outgoing as far as supporting their fan base. And one of the cool things that they've done is that if you back Borderlands Provinces, one of the things you're going to get is you're going to get an adventure to start people off in that world, and you can actually download it, and it is called Rogues in Rembalo. And this is the Sword and Wizardry version of it. You can get other versions like Pathfinder. And Rogues in Rembalo, as you can probably guess just from that cover, as you can see those people climbing over that wall, it is a city adventure. Now, I'm all for delving into a dungeon and digging around and finding some poor hapless troll and killing it and taking his gold. But I do like me a really good city adventure, because that's where, you know, the players can't just rely on their swords. They have to rely on their you know, their wits, and it's the player, and not so much the character that comes shining through. You know, I cut my teeth when I was young. I cut my teeth on the old basic adventures, like the Keep on the Borderlands. What was it, like B3? Well, B1 was Search for the Unknown, which was a weird adventure, but I'm not going to get into that. But B2 was Keep on the Borderlands, which is excellent. B3, if I remember, was Curse of the Silver Princess. B4 was The Lost City, which is amazing. That's still one of my absolute favorite adventures of all time. B4, I recently just played that in a message by forum adventure, you know, and I had a lot of fun with that. And then B5 was Horror on the Hill, which was also very good. That's another one of my favorites. But B6 was, if I remember, and I might not remember. I could have Googled this, but I just didn't because I wanted to see if I could remember this. But I think it was called The Veiled Society. I might be wrong, but B6 was a city adventure. And I remember when I got that, I was like, when I saw it at my, like, you know, I think I saw it at my local Ben Franklin back in the day. I don't even know if those things exist anymore, but we had a Ben Franklin that was a few blocks away from my house, and they sold D&D adventures there. And I remember when I saw it, I was like, ooh, it had like these guys wearing masks and, you know, running around and like looked like they had daggers and they looked like, you know, bad guys, and I thought that looked really cool. And it was the first like adventure where I was like, whoa, you know, this isn't a dungeon. You know, I mean, it was like a series of events and like people dealing with, you know, having to negotiate with people and having to, you know, like research clues and dig up the secrets of the city, you know, so you complete the adventure. And that really made me think, wow, you know, city adventures, I mean, yeah, there's something we said about dungeons, and dungeons are always going to be cool, but breaking up the TDM a little bit and having a nice, good city adventure is a lot of fun, and it's a good change of pace. And they've really, I mean, honestly, Matt Finch, the guy who he created Swords and Wizardry, and he's an excellent adventure writer, wrote this, and this is amazing. And they're giving this away for free. I mean, you can go there and you can just download it and read it, and it is awesome. It is for like first level adventurers, and obviously it's there just to get people into the Borderland provinces. And you could port this to your own game world if you wanted to, but and the cool thing about it is I'm not going to give anything away because it's something you have to experience as far as a player, or you have to read it as if you're going to be a DM. The cool thing is that it's got all these good hooks and has like a really, really cool mystery that you're digging through. But at the end, you're most likely there's like 3 or 4 factions that are very, very important in the area of the Borderland provinces. They're very powerful factions, and like, you know, perhaps maybe a thieves guild or two, you know. And but you are going to make enemies with some of them, most likely, and you're going to, you know, make friends with some of them. But it's a jump off point for the DM. It's like all of a sudden now you have, you know, it's like, oh well, you really made, you know, this like you know, this well-to-do family with a lot of political power. You did them a favor. Now they owe you something, and that is something where the DM can take that information and they can move forward with it and like give you another adventure or another campaign where you can like do something else for that, or they're gonna like clue you into something, an opportunity, if you will. And then if you like say ran afoul of a thieves guild and they're upset with you, now you've made an enemy and you've made this group that might be out to get you, and then that's also another thing where you just are going to experience that. And you know, I mean, honestly, I mean, like if you're watching this, just go download it and read it. I mean, it's amazing. The artwork is great. they have a map booklet that comes with it. The maps, as with any Frog God game, are absolutely excellent. There is even like a little dungeon, so don't worry about it. There is a little dungeon that you get to go through it. In there, it isn't all just the city. But and if this is just like the tip of the iceberg as far as what you can expect with the Borderland provinces, I think that I already know, just because on the weight of everything that they published before, I already know that they're going to have an amazing book coming out when they have that campaign source book come out. But this just confirms it to the nth degree, if you will. So I invite you to go and check out this free adventure, and if you're a DM, I invite you to read it and enjoy it. At the very least, I love reading adventures. Just because it gives me ideas for my campaign, and this one gave me like 2 or 3 really, really good ideas to port over into my campaign that I'm running, which I love. But also, it's just fun to read. I enjoy reading stuff like this. It gives you tons of NPCs and people that are running around in the city. And then you can, definitely, I'm always looking for good names for NPCs. I don't know about you, but I'm always trying to find, the best ones for that. And then, and ultimately, like I said, it's just maybe after you read it, you'll feel the same way as I do, and you can go and back the Borderland Province Kickstarter, and then when they publish that, you can have one heck of an awesome book that you can use for your next D&D or Pathfinder or 5th edition D&D, I should say Swords and Wizardry, Pathfinder, or 5th edition D&D. They're printing in all 3 of those, a campaign that you start, and you can then throw your friends into the grist mill, if you will, that is Bill Webb's campaign world. So, all right, so there you go. That is the adventure Rogues in Rembalo, and that is about the Borderland provinces and the Lost Lands. If you have any questions about any of that or RPGs in general, please ask away. I'll be happy to answer those and talk to you about that. I love talking about D&D. As always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And until next time, I'm the Undead Viking, and I'm telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye.